For a fabulous top 10 hit, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second top 10 smash of 1996. Here with Forever. Give it up for Damage!
You are the sun. You are my life. And you're the last thing on my mind before I go to sleep at night. You're always right when I'm in need. When trouble's on my mind, you put my soul at ease. There is no one in this world who can love me like you do. So many reasons that I want to spend forever with you. I'll be loving you forever. Deep inside my heart you'll leave me never. Even if you took my heart and tore it apart, I would love you still forever. 'Cause this is the world where lovers often go astray. Often go astray. We love each other. We all go that way. So put your doubts aside. Do what it takes to make it right. 'Cause I love you forever. No one can tear us apart. I'll be loving you forever. Forever. Inside my heart you leave me never. Won't never leave. Even if you took my heart and tore it apart. Tore it apart, girl. I would love you still forever. I'll be loving you.
One more time, Damage! There you go, that was Damage. And I tell you what, it's coming to the end of the year, and what a wonderful year it was here in Northern Ireland. People are looking at me with their mouths on the floor. Are you mental? Are you wise? I was telling you, it all started off this summer with a Falker crisis. Ooh. Yeah, and Shorts was going to close, and Big Ian, do you see Big Ian that time? And he arrived out to Amsterdam. It was brilliant. And he said, "We can't let these Falkers get away with it." And then it moved on to March, right? It moved on to March, and that's not an instruction if we've any orange men in, by the way. Right? It moved on to March, and Jarvis Cocker was asked to join Sinn Féin by Martin McGuinness. Remember the time he shook his bum? Remember he shook his bum, Michael Jackson? Yeah, because apparently they'd been trying to ruin the Brits for 25 years. Right, but it would never work, would it? Jarvis Cocker, right? Jarvis Cocker and Sinn Féin, he'd be running around going, "He came from Belfast, and his name was Jerry. His friends wore black gloves and leather berries, that's what I..." Caught his eye. He told me that his gun was loaded. The message from the phone was coded. I said, "Fine." Well, we can't see anybody else laughing, Jerry. Are you sure? And then we moved on to the months of May, June, July, August, September, October, and we had Drum Cree! What was that like? Right, and everybody's going, "Oh, do you want to talk about Drum Cree?" But it was like the brother and sister in Brookside. You knew it was wrong, but you just had a wee look. Hey, what's going on there? That was deadly, wasn't it? And we didn't know who to blame, and all the Catholics blamed the Protestants. Ooh. And the Protestants blamed the Catholics. And then we thought, "Oh, sure, we'll just blame the one person," and we all blame Sir Hugh Ainsley. Or as my mother calls him, and she's very posh, she goes, "Sir Hugh Ainsley." I do not know why everyone's blaming Sir Hugh Ainsley. He's a wonderful man. I collect all his vases. Anyway, we're going to rattle on with the show, and whenever we were doing the series, we were looking for this guy all the time. We're going, can we get him, can we get him? No, he's in the south of France, can we get him? No, he's in America, can we get him? No, he's up in Derry. And this is true, and we finally got him here tonight. Give it up and give it loud for me top mucker, PT2! Picking up your heels or what? It's good, isn't it?
Lovely.
Do you want a kebab?
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. How's things with you?
I didn't like your turkey joke either.
You didn't like the turkey joke?
Yeah.
You serious?
I'm on the turkey side, I don't know about you. I think we should have corn turkeys for Christmas. Yeah. That's like shooting stars, you know that bit he does in Shooting Stars?
What, the bit? Oh, the bit where he does the joke and nobody laughs?
Yeah, can I do it again?
Right, okay, can we do it again, right? No, we do it again, right, okay.
That's like corn turkeys for Christmas. No, you're not. Yeah.
So what have you been up to since you're obviously not your typical dairyman because you haven't got the white socks on or the moustache.
That's what we say about people from Liverpool. No, I've been in London. I've been changing management, record companies, getting the third album together.
Right.
Head down, concentrating on that. Because really no one knows us after fish can only get battered.
Fish can only get better?
Yeah, battered.
Oh, fish can only get battered?
Yeah.
Well, I was meant to be a duet with Dave Boy Macaulay. Hey, can only get battered. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
No,
No,
sorry.
no. I've been head down, just buried in the third album.
Why do you not like that song?
I don't know. It becomes a swan song, I suppose, and everyone knows you for it. I do like it, but it's like you go down the street. I got off the plane today in Belfast.
Aye.
And I was just walking to the car with my mum and dad, and it was just sung at me from 40 yards. And they still kept the melody. I was actually quite impressed.
Yeah, because everybody likes hearing Peter Kuna sing things could only get better.
And I wasn't going to do it tonight.
Were you not? No.
No.
Can we do it? Seriously? Can we do this? Yeah. Will we do this? Yeah. Yeah. I'll get you back for your turkey joke, you boy. Yeah. Right. So here we go. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll pretend like I'm Des O'Connor.
Des O'Connor.
Right.
That's your wife calling.
He's a wonderful man. He's a wonderful man, and he's going to sing for us tonight.
Things can get better.
You're going to see? Can we do? Right. Okay. I'll give him the mic. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'll give you a big late show introduction. Right. He's a very any Protestant. Sorry. Any Protestants in that's a show down south. Right. Okay. Right.
Go on.
There you go, he's on his feet now. He's a lovely, lovely, lovely young man. He's gonna sing it for everybody in the audience. Give it up for Peter Kuna!
Sometimes lose myself in me, I lose track of time. I can't see the words on the trees. You set them alive. And burning those bridges that you've gone to it so by you. I got my personal hell to deal with. Come on, finish. You only get better. You only get better. Now I found you take me high, baby. You only get better. You only get better. Now I found you.
How about you, Christmas?
Off you go. Fair play. Fair play. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now. We're almost at the end of the show. Say, oh. Say, don't go, Paddy. I'm afraid we are going to have to go, folks, but first, you're going to have to tuck yourselves in. Can we the duvets? Let's see the duvets. Everyone's duvet up and all tucked in because it's Christmas, it's cozy, it's time to settle in. By the duvets, we've got the fire. It's time for A Christmas Tale. So are you all sitting comfortably? Yes. Then I'll begin. Sorry, start. There's Catholics starting to come out to communion. What do you say? Sorry about that, many Protestants. They're all queuing up, right? Right. So we do want that. We want something bigger. We want something bigger because it is the end of the show. So bring on those singing choir boys! Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for A Christmas Tale. Tonight at 7 p.m., the IRA announced that a second ceasefire had taken place. Sorry, that's not a Christmas tale, that's a fairy tale. No. Start again, sorry. A Christmas Tale. We begin our story in Jerry Adams' bathroom up in Andytown. Jerry's been on the toilet for the past 12 months for the government, but there's still no movement. As the room fills with light, Senator George Mitchell appears at the window. Hail, Jerry! Full of crap. The Ra is with thee. Blessed are your visa applications amongst all others. And blessed are the votes that we got for giving you. Do not be afraid, Jerry, for a time of great joy is about to come across your entire land.
Afraid, George? I am afraid of nothing, big lad.
Oh, the Chucky's starting to applaud. Do not be afraid, Jerry, for you're a beard among beards. For a time of great joy shall come across your whole land.
What, has Daniel O'Donnell been kneecapped? Said Jerry.
No, Jerry, even better than that. For unto you shall be born a process. Ooh. And you shall call him Ceasefire. But at this, Jerry began to cry.
How can this be so? For I am a member of Sinn Féin and therefore totally unconnected with any paramilitary organisation.
And my arse plays the banjo, said George. Never mind. Go home and tell Martin that the angel of the magic American visa has appeared to you. He will understand. But when Jerry went home and told Martin he was having a ceasefire, Martin was furious! And he refused to believe in the miracle that was the angel settlement. There will never be a ceasefire, said Martin. Oh yes, there will, said the audience. Oh, yes, there will. Oh no, there won't. Oh yes, there will. Oh, all right then. How could this be so? Martin was confused. The answer came to him that night in a dream. Yes, it was a voice he heard calling far, far off in the wilderness. It was the voice of John Hume the Baptist, who was converting government ministers in the River Foyle. As John preached, Daniel O'Donnell sang on the banks. John then pulled Daniel onto the water, held his head down and said, "River dance now, big lad." Suddenly Martin woke up from the dream as he heard a tap on his window. That's a funny place for a tap. A hand then came through the window and said, "It's you." It was then that Martin knew that Jerry was indeed to have a ceasefire, because neither of them did the British National Lottery, as their balls were green. It was census time across Ulster, and the government had just lost their majority. As the general election was close, all Sinn Féin voters had to register for their false medical cards at Stormont. As Eric Smith had been replaced as Lord Mayor of Belfast, and there were no other donkeys around, Martin and Jerry went to Drumcree and hijacked the big digger for the journey. As they were arriving into Belfast, Martin noticed that the big digger was leaking diesel.
That's not diesel,
Said Jerry.
my waters have broken.
Yes, indeed, it was time for the ceasefire to be born. And so they drove to Stormont in an attempt to be accommodated. But when they reached the doors of Stormont, they were locked, as Sir Paddy Mayhew and Dick Spring were inside having a beef session.
Steady.
An RUC man stood guard on the front door. Martin spoke up. "Little peg, please let us in."
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Said Sir Patrick, who sounded remarkably like Victor Meldrew. Martin said,
I don't believe it.
no. Martin said, "Then we'll huff, and we'll puff, and we'll blow your house in." Ooh. But help was at hand, yes. A young man was behind them. He said, "You can come with me." Yes, it was David Trimble, who was on his way to Harryville Chapel to say midnight mass. So they all jumped into the big digger, and before you could say, "Boys are dear, boys are we there yet?" they were in Ballymena. Meanwhile, on a hillside in South Armagh, a shepherd was watching his flock by night. But alas, his gospel-singing sidekick had gone missing.
Listen up, sheep.
Has anybody round here seen my Willie?
Meow, meow, replied the sheep. For in fact, they weren't sheep. They were mad cows. Trying to sneak across the border. Again, Ian spoke up.
Has anyone seen my Willie?
"No," said one of the cows. "We haven't seen your Willie, but we can see your star." And sure enough, just behind Ian, way in the distance, was a bright light. And so Ian followed the light, which burned brighter than any star in the sky. For it wasn't a star. In fact, it was a bonfire outside Harryville Chapel. Inside the chapel, Fringe loyalists Gary McMichael and David Irvine were discussing why David hadn't got a fringe. Jerry was now back inside on the toilet, desperate for movement. And as Ian arrived, the ceasefire was born. Martin and Jerry laid their baseball bats in the manger. David and Ian laid their sashes on the bonfire. And the Scottish bishop who had just turned up laid a wee woman from Tombridge that didn't know the difference. With that, Jerry and Ian both spoke up.
Ulster says, why not?
It's Christmas. Thank you very much. Thank you. We've come to the end of the show, folks. I'd like to wish everybody out there a very, very happy Christmas and a prosperous 1997. I'm Patrick Kielty. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.